Every day, more and more thinking people around the world realize that the technology of burning hydrocarbons is outdated. But most of these people still do not change their technological lifestyle and use old engines. How is that, you say? After all, more and more new engines are invented every year in the world, which means that progress does not stand still. This is true, but let's see what those engines are. For example, Circle Cycle is one of the most unusual orbital-type internal combustion engines. It means that instead of reciprocating motion, orbital motion is used in the structure. The engine has no cylinder block, no crankshaft, no separate flywheel, or intake and exhaust valves. The creators confirm that this project can lead internal combustion engines to a fundamentally new level. Another example of innovative engine is SkyActiv X, developed by Mazda. It operates on the principle of using a spark-controlled SPCCI startup system. It is nothing more than a combustion method that allows gasoline engines to operate on compression ignition. In other words, Mazda has applied the diesel engine combustion methodology using the synchronization of a gasoline engine. The company is going to present a new Mazda 3 with the SkyActiv X engine already in 2019, and the Japanese promised 20% fuel savings compared to the current generation of engines. Liquid Piston X engine is the name of a rotary engine. The money for its development was allocated by the U.S. Department of Defense. The rotor of the X engine rotates inside the chamber with stationary valves on a triangular frame, and 3 ignitions of the combustible mixture occur in one turn. At the North American International Motor Show in 2018, one more unusual engine was shown. It was the Acadi's Power 2.7. It uses a design with oncoming piston movement. Emissions of this engine in comparison with similar engines are less than 30%, but its concept still cannot be called fundamentally new. In addition to the already mentioned engines, we managed to find another one, quasi-turbine. The rotor of this engine is a multi-link mechanism that rolls around the central part on rollers. Quasi-turbine has been tested in some practical implementation and has proven to be more efficient than similar steam and air engines. But anyway, it's all the same rotary engine. What do you think all these engines have in common? Don't worry, special knowledge is not required because the answer is quite simple. They all use combustible fuel for work. All these seemingly innovative developments are nothing more than just improved old technology, which is already known to us. So they do not solve the problems of ecology besides slight reduction of emissions. But why is this happening? 90% of people would say that probably because the engines that work without burning fossil fuels are fantastic, and they have not yet been invented. But after watching this video, you will realize that this is not true. Everything has already been invented, and it is not only about the use of solar, wind, and ocean tidal energy. There are technologies that are much more revolutionary, for which the burning of fossil fuels is primitive. One of these new advanced technologies is a car with a power plant that works by splitting and then burning a water molecule. People have been constantly inventing this engine for at least 70 years. But why do we still not drive cars using this engine? The awareness of the reasons of it comes to us only now, in the 21st century. All these inventions are not accessible to the majority of people because these technologies can completely change or even destroy the way the world's energy companies do business. From this, it becomes clear that such inventions are a threat to transnational corporations in the energy industry. Companies are constantly trying to hide research in the field of engines, but something leaks out and becomes revealed to the general public. One of such events happened 10 years ago, in 2008, when the Japanese company Genepax presented its water car at an exhibition in Osaka. No, this is not a car that can float on water, like cars in superhero movies. The machine uses water as fuel. It doesn't matter what you pour into the tank of the vehicle, soda, running water, or water from the nearest lake. A fuel-generating device breaks down any water into oxygen and hydrogen molecules. These molecules are burned up and the car goes. Innovation and practical value of this car is fixed in patent companies around the world. Documents confirming this are in the files of the European Patent Office. But the only available thing to us about this Japanese wonder car is this short video. Thus, all you need to jumpstart a car is a liter of any water, river, rain, seawater, or even a liter of Japanese tea. The car presented by Genepax was first tested in Western Japan in Osaka. Its engine runs only on hydrogen peroxide. Most importantly, there is no need for external resources for this car. It will work as long as you have a bottle of water with you in order to pour water into gas. I mean, the water tank from time to time. A report about this water car was made by one of the Japanese TV channels. They confirmed that as soon as water gets into the water tank, the energy generator begins to extract hydrogen from it, thereby releasing electrons. Thus, the electric power at the expense of which the car goes is made. The system developed by Genepax has an important difference from the majority of electric vehicles. It does not require the creation of a complex production and technical base for recharging the battery. Just 1 liter of water is enough to drive a car for an hour at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. So, the car exists. It exists not just in drafts and videos on YouTube, but drives on the roads in reality. It was completely built and patented in 2008. Consequently, in 2018, the Japanese company Genepax should be known to the world as much as the world's first automobile conveyor of Ford's factories. But now, in 2019, almost no one knows about this Japanese company. How so? The thing is that just a year after the presentation of its innovative vehicle, the company went bankrupt and closed. The future of researchers from Genepax is not known. But Genepax is not the only one group of innovators who tried to promote the idea of using hydrogen fuel. Stanley Meyer is another ingenious inventor who acted alone. He invented and built a split water car by himself. Somehow, the story of this man became accessible to the public when it came to a local news station in Ohio. Well, take a guess what happened to Stanley Meyer. Maybe he was enriched by potential investors who gave him a lot of money to build cars. Or maybe he founded his company similar to the Japanese Genepax, which began a successful production of cars on hydrogen fuel. Unfortunately, not at all. First, after the appearance of Stan and his videos in the news, some experts began to call Stan a swindler. And soon after that, he went to a restaurant in a parking lot, drank cranberry juice, felt bad, went outside and died. The results of his research are gone. However, more and more researchers explore the possibility of full value use of water as fuel. However, they do it without publicity, as they are afraid of unsuccessful experience of predecessors. But these researchers know that water is the ideal source of fuel. A water molecule consists of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. And when the electric current passes through the water with certain parameters, it splits up into its constituent elements. Oxygen and hydrogen burn in the engine, and the energy output is 2.5 times higher than when burning gasoline. In this case, the product of combustion is water vapor, which returns water back to the atmosphere, which is absolutely safe and environmentally friendly. Virtually any internal combustion engine with little or no modernization will be able to run on hydrogen. Not long ago, researchers from Virginia Tech were able to extract hydrogen energy from water in another way. They found that xylose contained in plants breaks down water molecules as well as electricity. But what to say about such technologies when even simpler mechanisms that work not on combustible fuel are not needed at all to those who own oil and gas companies? John Rockefeller, who became a billionaire due to kerosene trading, at one time tried to prevent Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla from developing with direct and alternating current. Unfortunately, not much has changed since then. But we have one value advantage compared to the Rockefeller era. Nowadays, the global network, the Internet, allows any information to be distributed immediately, and researchers can maintain anonymity by publishing their discoveries. Of course, certain segments of the Internet are carefully monitored and checked by special services from different countries, and corporations can afford special departments to track new inventions, to persist the danger. But when they try to forbid something, the so-called Streisand effect works, and the information gets even more widespread. The main thing is to have time to see and save the materials before they are deleted. This is exactly what happened with the Testatica fuel-free generator, whose disks are capable of rotating constantly due to the forces of electrostatic interaction. But you can know more about that in our other video. See you at our channel.